What up, what up, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? Welcome to TTESPN. I am Vita Van Pelt, aka TT Tavita, with me, soy sauce, moonwalk pilot. We in his hood today. Welcome, y'all. If you already clicked this, do us a favor. Hit the
Ooh.
sub button, hit the like button, and comment whatever you want. All comments matter. We do not care. All comments matter. All right,
Unless you're a
y'all.
Cowboys fan, we don't care about your
Yeah,
comments. We
we
don't care
don't
about
care
your.
about
Yeah,
the
we don't care.
I don't care about your
Hey,
comments.
We don't care.
we got a couple episodes till we get to the people I don't care about.
Don't
But
care about it.
oh, hey, for now, Bears fans get some middle fingers from me too. All right, y'all. This is my
Yeah.
personal favorite time of the year when we get to our divisional yearly breakdown time when the league is pretty much set and done. We're all waiting for DeAndre Hopkins is now officially a free agent. So this is being recorded before we know where he's going. So now it's time to get into the divisional talks. We're in Moonwalk, Fala's Hood today. We're in the NFC North. Going to be breaking down the division,
Ooh.
giving our thoughts, man. So NFC North, if you're in the building, drop your team in the comments. Tell us what you think. We are ready to go. Y'all ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Oh man, I can't wait. I'll tell y'all this. What are y'all initial overview thoughts of the division as a whole without Aaron Rodgers?
It's the
No
new
AA
NFC.
Ron.
It's the new NFC East. They've been roasting the NFC East for the last 3-4 years. It's the NFC North's turn. It's they
Hey,
turn.
no AA Ron. The
Kirk
throne is empty. Looking for the new king.
Kirk Cousins is the
Looking for
new
the new
Dak
No,
Prescott.
no,
Woo! Kirk's the new Dak.
no, no,
Ew.
no.
No, no,
Hell
no.
no.
Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. So divisional breakdowns will go like this. We will be starting our breakdowns based off of worst to first. And the last place team in the NFC North, also the holders of the number one pick, and who's going to be yelling fleeced in the comments to me, the Chicago Bears, y'all. Y'all ready to talk about these Chicago Bears?
The
So
Bears.
last year I told y'all, Ryan Polos was his name. Big Bog Polos. Ryan Polos was his name. I told y'all I had my eye on Ryan Poles as GM. I told y'all they was gonna have a lot of money and they probably was gonna have a top pick, and they had all of that. And I had to be part of the reason why they got DJ Moore. Head coach Matt Eberflus with last year's record of 3-14. Which one of y'all want to start us off on some of your thoughts for the Chicago Bears this year, man?
Let me just start it off. I don't really care for this team. They really suck. They really suck. Let's kind of move on from this team already. They're gonna be there for quite some time. So
He said they're going to be at the bottom for quite some time. I'm rolling.
the floor and ceiling is
Oh,
the same. Just suck. This just suck.
The floor and the ceiling is the same. hey,
oh
hey,
no,
for those of y'all watching, this is the disclaimer. This man is a Green Bay Packers fan.
Packer fan. All
I don't
right,
care for no
the
Bears
floor.
though. We own you
All right,
guys. Just know that.
okay, okay. All right. So sorry. What do you think about the Bears, man?
Hey,
Anything? Okay, let's start with this. Is there any free agent signings or departures that y'all was just like, all right, this moves me or this doesn't move me?
everything they added moved me. Everything. Because they needed everything. They was not
Okay,
good in any aspect last year at all. So everything they
got you,
added, everything was a benefit. They didn't really
got you.
lose anything other than the number one pick.
Yeah,
So I think everything they
got
added, man, was a benefit.
got you. Follow any free agent
Basically.
signings for you? Mess you up? You didn't like? Did like?
I mean,
You were
Robert
Tremaine.
Tanyan. I mean, like
Yeah, you were
they're gonna
Tremaine Edwards
suck.
dude though, right? You're a Tremaine Edwards dude though, right? You liked him with Buffalo, or did you know you was Matt
Yeah,
Milano?
I
I think you
did.
like Milano more. Which one?
No,
You
I
like
like
one of
Tremaine
them?
Edmonds, but like you're on the Bears now. You're gonna suck. So I don't really care for you now. So
So I like obviously they lose the number one pick, where they trade the number one pick to Carolina for DJ Moore, which we'll get to talk about that. But off of free agent signings alone, the fact that they were so quick to sign Edmonds and TJ Edwards was kind of to me like, okay, you wasn't gonna pay Roquan. You pretty much kind of gave the money to two guys that you would have gave the one. Even though in the moment it was the right move to make, but I don't think these two guys together and what they have will probably corporately give you what Roquan would have gave you. But I said again, I understand the move in the moment. I understand what you were trying to do. Them drafting Noah Sewell, who's going to be kind of sitting behind them. You know, we always try to cheer for the Oos, y'all Oregon Duck linebacker. So we always try to cheer for him and see how things go from there. Offensively, outside of DJ, I feel like their running back room regressed.
Yeah, losing
You know what I'm saying?
Montgomery.
Yeah,
In the division.
losing Montgomery in division, losing Montgomery. I know a lot of people are trying to hype up Khalil Herbert. Again, I told you I don't think there's no bad running back in the NFL, but you're not going to sell me on Khalil Herbert. But I do like their draft pick, Roshan Johnson. I do think, bro, who played behind Bijan at Texas, I think he's dope. And I would not be shocked if at some point dude becomes a starter. So like he's gonna be my this year's Brian Robinson, to where I think he's gonna actually be the
Ooh.
dude who steps up and kind of shows that he could carry the load here. What do y'all think about the offensive line? Do y'all think it really upgraded?
No. Not
I
significantly.
think it kind of stayed the same, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean you're
That
bringing in
was
some
a
young
selling
guys.
point.
Yeah, you're bringing in some young guys. So technically, you're still at the same place you were last year because you don't know what you got.
Yeah.
So I they have potential. I'm not going to be popular and say the ceiling is the floor, but the ceiling is a little higher with them with that old line. But they still young. I think they're just still in the same place as last year.
So Tevin Jenkins on their depth chart, who I thought would have been one of their tackles, is moving to guard.
Guard, yeah.
Yeah, they drafted Darnell Wright, and I remember us being there at the draft, and those dudes were shocked that they took Darnell Wright. They
was mad, but they wanted to be positive. They was like,
yeah,
yes, that's who we wanted.
And the selling point on Wright is, oh, well, he shut down Will Anderson in their matchup this year, and I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna put that much stock into one game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I feel like the other tackles that went after him were better.
Yeah, it's like, what did you do in the other 9 games?
Yeah, I feel like the other tackles that were Broderick Jones, I feel like Scarons, I just feel like all of them were just better than him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like he was a bad pick, but I feel like you probably could have picked one of the other 3 and been better. So, but like I said, they've added younger pieces that makes me feel like, okay, at least y'all kind of know what y'all want. So, but I don't think it's 1 year leap to where like you turn into like some top 10 O-line, but we'll get to see. We'll definitely get to see what they can be.
They have to. It's like mandatory. Minimum 5 game wins this year. Mandatory.
Yeah.
You won 3 games last year. It's almost mandatory to show.
I think they went on 11 streak losing.
Yeah.
I think they lost their 11 games. That's what I think it is. I know they went on a bad streak and they was losing some pretty close games. I've had Bears fans coming at me all ever since the trade, so I pretty much know a lot from what they think on their end. Bears fans think they're a 10-win team, and Justin Fields will have a Jalen Hurts like leap this year. That is Bears fans' expectations he would have a Jalen Hurts like MVP caliber leap this year.
I'm gonna say this, man. I like Justin Fields. I like him. You sold me on him, so I like him. But he ain't shown me nothing that he has a potential to have a Jalen Hurts lead. At least Jalen Hurts, when we was buns and he was in for Carson Wentz, he was showing flashes of, I can throw the rock. I'm not always gonna make the right decision, but I could get it there. I ain't even seen that from Justin Fields.
Yeah. So, Bala, what are your thoughts on Justin Fields right now? Just Justin Fields, the quarterback.
Quarterback? I thought he was a running back, not to be.
Damn. Damn.
Quarterback wise, he's buns. Let's get that out the way. he could be better as a running back. He's basically the best running back on their depth chart right now. Herbert, Deontay Foreman. So I don't really have expectations.
So
with any type of Bears.
But people keep making that Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields comparison in elite. I think what they do is they miss the context of a couple of things that help Jalen in his potential to his growth. Number one, Jalen had time. And number two, look at who Jalen had time under. Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen. They have a great O-line in Philly. AJ Brown was
Amazing.
icing on the cake. AJ Brown walked in. I told y'all we've had the arguments before. I was reserved on AJ Brown. I knew he was a top 20. I didn't think he was a top 10. After this year, bro's a top 10, closer to 5 than 8. And then Devontae Smith. And I bet you right now, I told y'all I'm a big Smith guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would take Smith up. So it's like you might, even if you're one and DJ Moore might be close to Devontae Smith, but he's not close to AJ Brown. So there's still a step down in O-line. There's still a step down in wide receivers. And then, bro, we still don't know what Matt Eberflus is.
Man.
I'm trying to be gracious to him. I'm trying to be gracious to him because I'm like, I know what you came into last year probably didn't allow you to do everything you wanted to do. But I also don't know if you even have the offensive help to put this dude in a position to help succeed like Jalen succeeded. So I do feel like I told you I think Justin Fields is that dude. I do think he is a franchise quarterback, but the statement of that being made is kind of like I think you're missing a lot of the components that went into supporting your guy to be this type of player. And so I'll ask y'all this. Since the addition of DJ Moore and the O-line and stuff that's supposed to happen in Chicago, what do you guys view this tandem doing this year in Fields and DJ?
Let me see what he did last year first. I think that's what I'm interested in before I go ahead
Who,
and
DJ or Justin?
both of them.
So I think Justin had like 17 and 11 last year.
So
Yeah, he has 17. He also got sacked 55 times though. So
2,000 yards passing.
2,200, 1,100 yards rushing. Jesus. I want to see him get closer to 3K. Give me 27, 2,800. Now you have a, I don't want to say a clear cut number one, but you have a number one. You have somebody that can get open. You have somebody that can get you that guaranteed throw to him, and if it's a one-on-one, you gonna take him in the 50-50 balls, right? You got Chase Claypool over there, Cole Kmet. I think they also took the Packers Robert Tonyan. So you have weapons. They're not top of the tier, top of the food chain weapons, but like give me the 2,800 next year. I'm gonna say cool. You did what you were supposed to do. 2,800 with a young O line, with some weapons. I should not see you close to 1,000 yards rushing next year.
Yeah.
But
Bala, what you
give me
think
about
about him?
2,900.
I think it has to be 3,000 for them to like be any type of successful. I mean, I know they're not trying to be like successful with the young team they got, but I think 3,000 is like you're showing me you're gonna go somewhere. Right,
So yeah,
staying
this
at
is
like
this
the
is
22 to just
so this is
give me
yeah, so
that
this is
big leap for
technically
you.
the option year. This is technically the option year. So when Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, a lot of these dudes get out of this year, it's going to be time for them to have their options picked up.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the thought of like, this is a kind of a prove it deal type of situation for him because you might not get your option picked up,
Yeah.
especially if you
Give me
find a way to get hurt.
2,800 and 21, 22 touchdowns. You can give me that, which is a 5 touchdown increase. You threw at 60% completion percentage last year. Give me 65. Just show me something. I don't want to see the. I don't need to see the needle move significantly. Just make it move.
Got you. What is your expectations or thought on this receiving group now? DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan, and St. Brown and Tyler Scott, who people are trying to sell me on. And I'm kind of cool on both of them.
What
You
you got,
guys think
Polly?
this is a
I'll let
good
you go,
enough?
Polly.
Do I think this is a good enough receiving core?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the receiving core?
I mean, it's good. There's not really much to say about this receiving core. They're just like we said, like for the past few years, there's a bunch of twos on one team. I think we need to get probably one of these receivers at 1,000. Probably it's going to be DJ Moore or Mooney, but Oh no, man! It's in the middle for me. That's my expectations for them. In the middle.
So
That's all I gotta say with that.
last year their leading receiver was Cole Kmet with 50 receptions, 544 yards.
Oh,
Next is Darnell Mooney and then David Montgomery. So when your tight end can't even get more than 70 catches, and he's your number one receiver, doesn't get anywhere near 600 yards. Your next guy who you traded for in Chase Claypool, 14 receptions, 140 yards, no
it's
touchdowns.
crazy.
To me, when you insert a DJ Moore, you get yourself a line who you're again hoping that they gel real quick. DJ Moore should be at like 800 yards next year. 800 yards, about 70 catches.
I don't think an 800-yard season from DJ saves Fields or saves Chicago.
I don't think it does, but that's what I expect from him. Their number one receiver is going to be 70 catches,
Yep.
about
Remember,
800 yards.
I'm on the other side of DJ. I'm on the side of having to fight for DJ and barely getting the dude in the top 25 rankings as a wide receiver. And the man hasn't caught a single pass for the Bears yet. And I'm supposed to believe he's now a top 10 wide receiver. Behind all of this, an 800-yard season from DJ Moore does not save the Bears. Like, it doesn't save the Bears. It gives them the damn number one pick again that they want so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it does. Like, if DJ Moore isn't to me a 1100, this is the first year in DJ Moore's career he had over 4 receiving touchdowns, and it took us getting rid of CMC and Robbie Anderson for him to then become the priority in the red zone. He's had 4 receiving touchdowns every year before that. This was the first time he's gotten 7. So, and he's always had the targets. So I don't think the targets will be the problem. The production is going to have to match. I think DJ is going to have to be an 1,100-yard, 6-7 TD type of guy. Cole Kmet has the 7 TDs, so I'm like, okay, y'all kind of got something there. I remember Justin Fields did soil a big one in the Washington game where he like overthrew, bro. Or maybe that was another one. He just missed that one. I think this is the year that'll make and break Justin Fields in a lot of ways, because we got a lot of upcoming wide receivers: Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, who's some other people I could think of, kind of younger receivers who are coming in and looking to take, some runway in the top 25. And DJ will be one of the first people out if he don't do right. Like, we could come back next year.
I don't even think he was in the top 25 in receptions last year. He had 63 receptions, 888 yards. He was like in the top 50.
We sit down. Yeah, but when we sit down at the end of the year, if DJ's not a 1,200-yard receiver with 10 TDs, 8 TDs, if he don't take on the CeeDee Lamb challenge like we gave the CD and he hit it, bro, Garrett Wilson's going to pass him up. Olave's going to pass him up. A lot of these Jackson Smith and Jigba, a lot of these younger dudes are going to pass him up, and he's going to find himself on the outside.
What year is this for DJ Moore? Year 4? He's going into year 4?
Nah, it's like year 6.
Year 6? Oh, yeah. Lord.
He's paid. He's paid, bro. He got his money.
It's year 5. Year 5. Yeah, basically 6.
He's going into 6 this year, right?
Oh no,
he got paid, bro.
He's going into
6, bro. This is 6. This is year 6, bro.
I'm still thinking that this fool's in like. I'm still thinking that this fool's in year like 3, 4. And he's going into year 6. Nah, you better have 1,200 yards receiving, 100 yards reception, bro. You need 100 receptions.
Look,
you need 1,200 yards.
I'm gonna just read you his targets since he's coming to the league, right? 2018, that's a Ron Rivera year, bro. They were struggling to use him. I blame the OC off of that year. 2019, 135 targets. 2020, 118. 2021, 163 targets. Last year, 118 targets. He has not been without the targets. And last year was the first year he got over 4 touchdowns. Bro, everybody in Carolina was celebrating, was like, damn, is this dude going to finally get over 4? You know how mad we was when we saw Christian Watson getting 3 touchdown games? It was like, damn, he done already passed up DJ. So we was pissed off. Like, no, bro, this is year 6. This is year 6. And, like, y'all know in the moment, I was like, hey, I was sad to miss DJ because I was like, I wanted him to have better with us. But, bro, I know DJ. You know what I'm saying? I know DJ, bro.
I
I know
wanted you to
DJ.
break through, but you ain't doing it with us.
No, because I know, bro. We sat here. We've been hard on. I have been hard on CD Lamb.
Yeah.
We gave him his little 100, 1,010. He did it. You go look at DJ and you go look at his stats, and I've been screaming it to y'all for years. Quarterback play, coaching changes, offensive coordinators, all of that. But even without all of that, bro, I still see somebody like Garrett Wilson come in the league and kill it. Or I still see somebody like Chris Olave come in and be statistically better.
With
And I watch
multiple
DJ, bro.
quarterbacks.
Yeah. And I watch DJ, bro. And I know when he has to face a lockdown receiver who follows him, them are bad games, bro. We truly did get saved at the end of last year because we had a good running game. And DJ was out of it, bro. Like, they're again, I'm gonna let them find out. DJ's a top right in this moment. I would tell you he's a top 25 wide receiver. But if we come back here and he's got less than 1,000, he's gonna be outside the top 25.
Just
I can
for the
promise
fact
you
that
that.
he's in year 6, y'all won that trade outright. I don't care what nobody says.
Like I said, bro, he wasn't tied. He wasn't tied to Frank Wright and them. So I get it. Let's look at the defensive side of the ball, y'all, just to kind of get an overview, just kind of what y'all thoughts are. Y'all know I love Jaquan Brisker. Y'all know I'm gonna always find me a DB in the safety. If there's a breakout candidate on his roster, Brisker is that dude. Brisker is nice. I mess with him. Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson, I think, getting a little more experience this year. Hopefully they step up. If there's a bright spot in this team, I would hope that it's the fact that the secondary kind of takes a bigger leap and maybe can alleviate some of that pressure, because I don't think this D line's getting any. I think this D line is dookie. I
You're about
really,
to
really
get
do.
toe up in the run game.
I tried to find the light with this D line and I can't, but I love the secondary. I told y'all Brisker's my dude. I like Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, but like that, the back half of the defense, I can see where they made the moves at, but that front part, I'm like, boy, y'all giving up 6 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
I don't see how they get
There's a reason
anything.
why they got. There's a reason why they got Tremaine Edmonds. They ready to get some tacklers. They're
Yeah,
gonna be running right through
facts,
them.
facts. That's
That
crazy. Y'all see
that's
any
that's
highlights on plays on defense?
that's kind of what makes me scratch my head on why they didn't go after Javon Hargrave, because it was said, like, rumored that was like the number 1 or number 2 spot for him to go was the Bears, and they go and get T.J. Edwards instead.
Yeah,
For what? You ain't get no help on the front line, man. Like you said, secondary solid. I think their linebacking core is going to be really, really good. They might have
yeah,
200 plus tacklers in that linebacker core, especially with
yeah,
what their D line ain't gonna be doing.
yeah.
But I think they just gonna get gashed in the run game.
Yeah, and I do want to take a step back and say that I only know Tremaine Edwards in the Buffalo defense. I
That's
said
true.
I don't know what I only know T.J. Edwards in the Philly defense.
That's true.
I don't know what they look like as the main guys. You know what I'm saying? So, and you were paid to come really be a part of this core to change up for this defense.
Yeah.
So
And I mean,
I don't know
T.J.
what they.
Edwards 150 something tackles behind one of damn near the best D line in the league.
Exactly. And bro's gonna be back there like the hell y'all can't. It's gonna be a new view. He's gonna be like, damn, these dudes can't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
guards coming to the second level already.
yeah.
They're
Like these dudes,
one-on-one-ing
I'm like,
everyone.
yeah, like I can't freaking find. Like, these dudes used to take care of this stuff. So I don't. I just said that's where my struggle is with them, and it might turn out to be a problem because I got my respect to Edmonds and I got my respect to Edwards, but I didn't always view them as the main piece to what made their defense successful.
Yeah.
And I think they got paid to be that over here, and we'll get to see how they look in that role. But if there's a dude, I told y'all, Jaquan Brisker, that's my dude. So I really mess with him. So if there's somebody who we come back and be like, yo, damn, bro's killing it, it'll be him. So 3 key players, y'all. 3 key players, whether it's success or 3 key players who you think is like, yo, you're on the spotlight's on you for the Chicago Bears.
Who you got, Paulie?
Justin
I could
Fields,
get
definitely number 1 key
okay.
player. DJ Moore, number 2. He's gonna have to help Justin Fields.
I think that's facts.
And then Tremaine Edmonds, they pay you a lot of money, man. You better be the big dog on that defense. So
Yeah.
that's who I got for my keepers.
I'm gonna go a little bit left field. I'm gonna go with Darnell Wright. I think he's gonna be a key player for them, especially sitting there on that right tackle spot.
Yep.
Darnell Wright, Cole Kmet, that's gonna be his familiar safety blanket. And then
Facts.
obviously Justin Fields, man. I think Justin Fields is gonna be everything to this team. But Cole Kmet, I think he's gonna be that guy that's gonna benefit from having a DJ Moore at least for the first 8 games of the season until either DJ Moore gets exposed or DJ Moore
Yeah.
breaks out.
Yeah. Got you.
I'm staying on
All right,
offense.
so he actually hit my first 2 right on the head. Cole Kmet. Let's see if you can continue to be that security blanket. Let's see how what your improvement looks like in the receiving game. If anything, if y'all relationship can grow, because DJ should be a benefit to help out coverages for you. Darnell Wright, you got drafted over some guys who I thought were better than you, and you're not even going to left tackle. You're going to right. They pulled up Panay Sewell. So help solidify the line. If you can just help solidify the line, then that's going to be a step in improvement for this team. And third, I just opened up the line and said, can one of y'all damn D linemen do something? Because we don't like y'all might get hit on the gas, but can somebody become a double-digit sack dude out of this group or something? Because I'm trying to find hope in it. And that's just kind of all for them, with just opening the floodgates for the D line and be like, hey, bro, we'll see what y'all do. So let's walk through the Bears schedule real quick, man. See what y'all think, man. Walk through the Bears schedule before we move on to the
Bears
Green Bay Packers,
schedule.
who is their week 1 opponent, man. Dub or L, week 1, Green Bay.
L.
L?
L.
All right, let's get. I gave him a dub. I gave him a week 1 dub. So that's one. We'll go off of. Do I got a paper? It was 2 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 it, so we could just roll with
I
that. But
got you.
that's
I
an
got you.
L.
I'll pull it up on
You
my
got it?
side.
So they're technically 0-1. We'll go off a majority. At Tampa, week 2.
Dub.
That's a dub. Everybody's beating Tampa.
Dub. So they're 1-1. At KC.
Yep. L.
L. That's 2 and 1-2. Versus Denver at home. Sean Payton. Does that move? Is that a dub?
that's an L.
It's a
That's an
home
L.
game.
It's going to be a
That's an
close
L.
L. That's a
That's an
close
L.
L.
1-3 at Washington Thursday night.
At Washington, that's an L. No, I'm gonna actually give them that
Thursday
dub.
night.
I'm giving them
That's
that
a
dub.
I'm gonna give him a dub.
I'm gonna give
I'm
them
gonna give
that
him a
dub.
I'm
dub.
going to give him a dub
2-3.
for that one.
Versus Minnesota, week 6.
Oh, that's an L.
L.
2-4. Versus the Raiders.
I'm gonna say that's an L.
L.
Jimmy
I gave them a
Garoppolo might not even be their
Yeah.
quarterback. He
I
might
gave
get
them a
waived.
dub. I gave them a dub.
Give him a dub on that one.
A dub? Okay.
That's 3-4. At the Chargers. 3-4.
They
I mean,
losing.
the Chargers tend to lose to some sorry teams, man. I don't know.
They losing. I got a lot to say about the Chargers when we get there.
All right, that's 3-5. At New Orleans.
That's an L.
That's an L.
3-6. Thursday night at home against Carolina.
That's an L.
That's a dub.
Damn, he gave him a dub. That's
All
an
right,
L.
3-7. I pick L. Probably lose. 3-7. At Detroit.
That's an L.
L.
These niggas, they're 3-8 right now, bro. At Minnesota.
They're gonna
That's
win
an L.
in Minnesota.
They're gonna win in Minnesota.
They're winning in Minnesota.
Because
Because at this point of the season, they ain't got nothing to lose.
It's Monday night. It's Kirk Cousins Monday night. Can we, say?
That's exactly why.
Okay.
I looked at it and I
so-
seen Kirk Cousins on Monday. That's a dub for the Bears.
So what? That's 12. So what? That's 4. What is that? 4-8 at the bye week. So we'll give them 4-8 at the bye week. At week 13, they'll be 4-8.
Justin Fields out of there.
Dang.
Hey, all right. Versus Detroit.
At home?
It's a bye week. Yeah, it's at home. I
That's
give them a dub.
That's a dub.
5. At Cleveland.
That's a dub.
That's 6. So they came out the bye hot too at Arizona.
That's a dub.
I give them
That's a
3.
dub.
That's 3. That's 7 wins versus Atlanta.
That's an L. Atlanta about to rush for
That's at
250 yards
home.
on them.
That's at home.
Atlanta about to
It's
rush
a
for
home.
I'm gonna say this again when we get to Atlanta. Atlanta gonna have the best rushing offense in the league this year.
I give them a dub at Atlanta. That's 8. That's 8 and 9 right there.
I'll give him a dub on that one.
Damn.
That's 8 and 9. No, that's 7 and 9. Or 8 and 8,
It's an
something
L.
like that.
The L is the last one.
They
I
went
want to see it.
they went 6.
So
They went
so
0-6
they're
last year in the
8-9.
division. They went 0-6.
So they're 8 and 9. So let's say they're 8 and 9. That's kind of around a median for where they're at. 8 and 9. We had them 4 and 8 at the bye, and then we had them winning every game after the bye except for Green Bay. So they came out the bye week and did something right.
I mean, this
So it's
is
8
year two for this coaching staff.
career.
This is year 2 for the whole coaching staff. So hopefully they'll figure something out.
I would take 8 and 9 into the offseason knowing I had a rough go at it before.
My biggest question
Is
though
8
is
and 9 they're like stealing?
when you get to Detroit though, right? When you get to that Detroit game, the first Detroit game, and you're sitting at 3, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. When you're at the Detroit game going into Minnesota, do you as a coaching staff almost look at, man, who could we pick up in the draft if we just continue to lose?
You have your own. I said you have your own first, and you have Carolina's first next year. But I think you're too invested. I just think you're too invested into Justin Fields and the DJ Moore to pick up another quarterback in the draft. And I think there's going to be plenty of other teams who will be less than 4 wins already head first into that race.
Ooh. I'm gonna save this.
So 8 and 9 is kind of where they're at.
That might
And
be
that's
their
crazy.
ceiling, like
Coming out the
Pilot
bye
said.
week, it came out the bye week on fire though.
I think this is the year. This is the year Justin Fields is gonna have to not necessarily take the leap, but if he goes 8 and 9, then we can start talking about the Jalen Hurts leap into the next year. Then we can start talking about that. As far as I'm concerned, you're going into your year where do we want to really sign you or not?
So I'm saying because I don't know if bro could live if he's 4 and 8 at the bye week.
I mean, what's the other option though, right?
I'm pretty confident they'll get 3 out of. I like them in 3 out of 5 after the bye, so I'm like cool with that. Whether it's 8 and 9, 7 and 10. So I asked this question so we could get ready to move on. Are the Chicago Bears a 10-win team?
No.
Are the Chicago Bears a less than 5-win team?
No.
Then I think we kind of cool with where we at then. Then I do. They're not a 10-win team. We all don't think they're a 10-win team. Being 4 and 8 at the bye is tough, but I'm confident in 3 wins after the bye week, even if you have that rough start. If you're jumping ship at the bye week, you wasn't committed to something to go in the season anyway.
I think their floor is 5 wins. Their floor is 5 wins.
Yeah.
And the ceiling
5.
for me is like 7.
All right. So hey, we ended 8 and 9, so we was a little sorry, cool. So we'll take that. Floor 5, I'll go ceiling 8. This is not a 10-win team, though. We'll see. All right. Y'all ready to move on to Pilot's Hood? Time to go up to Lambeau, baby, up in Green Bay. Hey, time to go up to Green Bay.
It's time to get aboard the love train.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To the Green Bay Packers last year, record 8 and 9. No Aaron, head coach Matt LaFleur, the slicker, my mans. Let's go. Let's get into a Pilot, man. You kick us off, man. How you feeling about your Packers going into this year, man? Tell us about the free agency pickups and all that, man. Put us on game.
Man, it's kind of like what AJ said, man. If you think you were in a rebuild, man, you got the wrong team, man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, key additions. I'm gonna say the whole 2023 class that we just drafted. I feel like we just addressed our biggest problem, which was depth in every position. So I would say that as key additions. Key departures, I would say Adrian Amos because he was by far our second leading tackler. in our whole defense. And yeah, I don't know.
Didn't y'all release what's his
All right.
face? Oh, y'all traded him after you signed him from the Vikings last year. What was his name? Why can't I think
Oh,
of
is
his
it
name?
Darius Smith? Oh, I don't care about him.
Yeah,
He's a loser.
Zadarius Smith.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your thoughts on the Packers, man? Some of their how their free offseason has been looking. Life after
Um,
Ron.
I think their O line is gonna be healthy for the first time going into the season. The whole
Yep.
O line, John Runyon, David Bakhtiari, who might be well over that hill, but hey, until you show us that you over that hill, we just still gonna, we still gonna look at you as a pretty solid player. I don't really think there are any key additions. Like Polly said, depth. I do want to see year 2 of Christian Watson though. I do want to see
Okay.
year 2 Christian Watson. I want to see what Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon does behind this healthy O line, which I think. I mean, we've seen Aaron Rodgers behind that broken O line for the past 3 years, back-to-back MVPs. Last year, I think he finally started to pay for being behind a broken O line. Finally started to pay it after 3 years of being broken. I think the defense got worse. Not significantly worse, but I think they got bad enough for us to look at that and be like, damn, y'all better do something on offense because the defense is not going to keep y'all off the field. So when y'all are on the field, y'all going to need to put some points up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Myself, the rookie class does intrigue me. Musgrave, Van Ness, definitely. Looking at last year's class, Wyatt, Quay Walker, how they step into their roles this year. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Rudy Ford might get a starting job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Depth chart can't change. Depth chart can't change. See, Owens is there right now. Alexander, top tier corner. So that's always a help when you have that. Devondre Campbell, top tier linebacker. That's always a benefit when you have that. Rashawn Gary, kind of seeing how he turns out this year. I mean, it's not bad place where he is. I think with him and a lot of other edge rushers around that area, if we're just kind of where they're at, or if there's another level to these guys to kind of reach up higher. And it's just really looking at. So this is some of the things I am confident in with Green Bay. Sustainability in the coaching staff, because we know what LaFleur could do. Now we
Mm-hmm.
get to see what. Now to me, it's like without Aaron, was Aaron boosting you up in areas? Was Aaron holding you back in areas because he was trying to do stuff his way? Jordan Love doesn't give me the vibes of wanting to be the dude to, go off of tangent on what he might want to implement. I think we might see a much more opened up version of what he wants to do. And I think that probably is running the ball a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon be killing it. Still think we said it last year, I said it again this year, probably the 2 best running backs in the division on the same team.
Yep.
So I would take them too. Christian Watson said, well, he came on strong towards the end of last year, got his stuff together, see what that momentum looks like going into next year. I don't know how to feel about Jaden Reed. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know how to feel about him being picked up either. Like you said, healthy offensive line, good running game. I don't want to put Jordan Love in the box of another rookie quarterback, though, because you've had time, you've been around, you've had a sustainable system, you've been learning under Aaron. So I don't want to give you the just save and manage the game vibes. There really should be no reason to me why he doesn't have a runway to just be successful
Yeah.
and be successful with stats and with gameplay. And it's not Aaron Rodgers, but this team should not really take a drop off and become no bottom 10 offense in the league. You've had time, bro. You've
I
had time
agree.
and you've been there, you've been around. You know every terminology, cadence, and stuff that's needed. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have the O-line and stuff to back it up. So, bro, you should walk in and really you should be able to statistically match what the rest of these guys are gonna put up in the division.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
I
yeah,
think because Jordan Love's draft class was Tua, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts.
yeah,
So out of those guys, we talked about, and I think this kind of gets lost in the mix way too much. We talked about him having the best situation. You're going in and you
yeah,
ain't got to start. you ain't got to go in and have, fulfill some expectations like Joe Burrow did. Came in, had a hell of a first season. Jalen Hurts came in, back half of the season, ended up starting, taking over for Carson Wentz. Tua coming in, kind of being that guy kind of behind, Fitzmagic. Justin Herbert coming in, just having a hell of a rookie year. I think Jordan Love is going to have the best first starting year than his draft class, peers, obviously, because his first year sitting behind two-time back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers over his last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think he
I
gonna go
hold
off
you,
low-key.
I hold Jordan Love accountable to be on par with them out the gate.
Yeah.
Like there's I don't need you to come out week 1 throwing 300 every game, but you should be able to compete, bro. You've been there. You've been groomed. It's a reason why Green Bay has went from Favre to Rodgers to now to you. Like they take their time and their investments in it, bro, and it's at the core of who they are. So I have no, again, I'm not gonna say you got to come out here and give us all pro season stuff. But you damn sure can't be no bottom 10 quarterback in the NFL, because I think your coach and your supporting cast allows for better than that.
Yep.
So that's my
and
thoughts on it.
And I feel like this year has to be Matt LaFleur's year, man. You gotta take You gotta take everybody by their collar and be like, "This is my year. This is where I wanted the team to go." But we had, he had to make Aaron Rodgers happy throughout the years, and this is finally his year to show where he wants to be in Green Bay. So that's all I gotta say on that.
They gave Jordan an extension, right? An extra year extension. So this isn't
just one more year.
This isn't like if things go bad this year, we're jumping ship. This is we gonna have time to figure this out, but we still got to be competitive. And that also seems like how a lot of their contracts are set up too, as they don't plan to take no drop off. So I said I expect Jordan Love to come in and be a good quarterback from day one. Said bro's been around. So Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. Those are your starting 3 wide receivers right now, according to depth chart, right? At the end of the year, will we be able to say Christian Watson will be a top what receiver in the NFL?
20.
20?
15 to 20. Yep.
Damn, that's a jump.
Yeah,
and I'm this is why I'm gonna get real bold right here, because I said I was going to. This is where I'm gonna get bold. I'm gonna get bold with Paula's team. I'm gonna pull up something else on the screen. So I mean, y'all probably can't see it, but I'm gonna pull it up. Last year's passing stats from his draftees, his draft peers. Justin Herbert, second in the league, 4,700 yards. Joe Burrow, was he sixth in the league? Fifth in the league, 4,400 yards. Go down to Jalen Hurts, 3,700 yards. Tua, 3,500 yards. Tua didn't even play a full season. He was on par for 6K. Yeah. Jordan Love is about to throw for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns. That's why we're gonna see Christian Watson be top 15, top 20.
Okay. All right. I think Luke Musgrave is going to be very sneaky in this offense, man. Bro, he's going to be very, these are 2 very sneaky guys who I got my eye on. And I would expect I expect some sneaky stuff to come out of them, to be real with y'all. On the defensive side of the ball, any case of concerns that you guys see on the defensive side of the ball? Said safety?
Safety. Darnell Savage. Boo.
You're not rocking with Darnell Savage?
Darnell Henry Savage, you are buns. Ever since we drafted you, you are buns. Let's just get that out the way. Jonathan Owens, you only got a name because of your wife. Let's just get that out the way too. So I mean, I think our best safety here is Rudy Ford, like you were saying. Like, damn, yeah, Rudy Ford is probably gonna get some burn. Tarvarius Moore is probably gonna get some burn. I don't know. Just the safety position is just bugging me. We're gonna get beat deep all year.
Got you. Georgia. I know when we get to Philly, we'll be talking about another Georgia couple Georgia players, but we got Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker on the board, man. What are our expectations for these two guys?
Devontae Wyatt gonna have to show me something, man. Devontae, I think that to me is where I'm looking at. Not necessarily my cause of concern, but I'm looking at this D line. Like, what are y'all gonna do? I think Green Bay's always known for having somebody on the D line to mess something up. For a minute, it was BJ Raji. We remember BJ Raji. They had Clay Matthews there for a minute, but at any time we look at a successful Green Bay defense, it's because that D line is doing something nasty.
Yeah. I definitely love to see Go ahead, Uz.
Oh, go ahead.
I definitely would love to see how Van Ness is implemented throughout the year. What type of time he gets. I said, I'm kind of looking at Rashawn Gary, like, what is there like the next gear? Because I feel like we're starting to get so used to seeing some of these same top tier DNs, you know what I'm saying? And that's very, very small. The Bosa's, Garrett's, Michael Parsons now officially moving to DN, Max Crosby. I feel like that cloud of elite is real small. So I'm trying to see if there's another guy who makes his way up there into that area. So, yeah, but I said, which it's a good thing to say if your concern is safeties. Because, it's kind of like, all right, the least important defensive position on the field is the one for concerns. Like, all right, cool. We could deal with that. Like, so, yeah, again, I'm just kind of shocked my dog Rudy Ford. Like, bro, kind of snapped in that Dallas game. You know what I'm saying? Where the love at for my man? You know what I'm saying? Like, where the love at for my dudes, man? For real. So, all right, man. So, like, we talked about this, and I think this is the big key point for me for Green Bay going in is the freedom for LaFleur and what he's going to do in life without Aaron, and also knowing, at least in I think there's a case for Chicago, like we talked about. If they really are a 4-8, a 3-9 team at the bye week, I think there's a chance that they could blow up off of some of the pieces they got, right? But I think that even if Green Bay was to take a down route this year, there's still commitment to a lot of what's here that goes into next year. So it's not like this is where we're at. Where Jordan's going to be here for, at least we know for a fact, 2 years. We're paying him. LaFleur is not going nowhere because you really can't upgrade him. That's not how we move as a franchise. So even in what, if it happened to be a bad year for the Packers, I know that a lot of these players will be coming back. But Bakhtiari is kind of getting up there in age too, though. I don't think the rest of the guys is kind of cool though. But you got a little bit of room to work there for sure.
Yeah. I think Green Bay gonna be looking towards some O linemen in the next draft for sure.
Yeah. Wait, isn't Rasheed Walker? Didn't they just pick him up or something? Why do I feel like they just picked him up? Did they?
Last year.
Rasheed Walker last year.
Yeah.
I think Chuck Filianga was another one too.
Yeah. I know we talked about Josh Myers.
Just drafted.
Yeah. All right, bet y'all. 3 key players this year to the Green Bay Packers' success, or that you are highlighting. Who are you guys' 3 key players this year? So I could go first to see. I could think that through. Number 1 for me, we'll go Quay Walker, man. I like Devondre. Devondre Campbell had his All-Pro year 2 years ago, got some money. Quay, man, if you can step up and meet that, meet his energy right there, be that type of player. I think this defense can stay towards the top, keep itself up there. Number 2, I would definitely have to put into the consistency of the running game and Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Not only because they just run the ball, but Aaron Jones be killing out the backfield. Let's see what type of support I feel like LaFleur's got some nasty stuff he wants to do with these guys, but he couldn't do because of Aaron, man. And then I'm with y'all, man, on Christian Watson, seeing if he is going to, when we come at the end of the year, like, dang, Christian Watson snapped this year. Is he truly the number 1? Because he was also taken over some other guys and names that came along too. So let's see if you're solidified in that situation. So those are the 3 key players for me.
I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the D line. D line for me is I'm gonna say that's 1 key. Devontae Wyatt, T.J. Slayton, Kenny Clark, Carl Brooks, Jonathan Ford. What are those guys gonna do? Show me something. Give me a name to look at every week when we talk about the Packers. Next one I'm looking at is also Christian Watson. I mean, I said it. Jordan Love is gonna have a 3,500 yard season, 27 touchdowns. And Jordan Love, obviously, right? I mean, we're looking at him. He's had the benefit to sit for the last 3 years and just soak up game.
Yeah.
You've been taking all those reps in practice. You've been soaking up. one of the greatest quarterbacks that the history of the league's ever seen in Aaron Rodgers. What do you do and put that pen to paper now? What can you do on the field?
Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right, Pilot. Three
Yeah.
key players.
Devontae Wyatt, man. There's a reason why we drafted Lucas Van Ness, man. He could play inside and outside, so we gotta see what he was worth that first round pick for. And my other one is Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. They're gonna get a lot of opportunities off play action.
Okay.
Christian Watson getting double the running game, and they're gonna get a lot of opportunities. And I want to see what they get out of that. And then, of course, the love train, man. We're gonna keep it moving with him, man. You know what I mean?
Choo
Another Hall of
choo.
Famer, you know.
The
Hopefully.
love
So
train.
yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. The love train, baby. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Let's get into this record prediction for the Green Bay Packers in the 2023. Let's see if where their floor and ceiling ends up for us. Week 1 at Chicago. That was an L on Chicago.
Yep.
That was a dub, right? All right. Week
Yep.
2 at Atlanta.
Dub.
Yep.
That's 2-0.
Atlanta
Week-
gonna realize we spent too much money for no reason.
Week 3 versus first home game of the year is week 3 versus the Saints.
Dub.
Yep.
Is the Packers gonna start 3-0? Are the Packers gonna start 3-0?
Yeah, dub.
Post, the goddamn media would go crazy.
Man.
Thursday night at home versus Detroit.
I'm
giving them a home game dub.
I'm gonna say it's an L, man. It's quick. It's that Thursday turnaround for me. That New Orleans gonna beat them up. They're gonna beat New Orleans, but New Orleans gonna beat them up. And I think they're gonna go into a Thursday night game just hurting.
All right, and we got them beating the Raiders, right? We got them beating the Raiders.
Is Detroit a dub? Well, 2 out of 3 was a dub, right? Obviously, Pollard's a dub.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 was dub. So let's say at worst, right now we have their floor at 4-1 at the bye week. Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, Detroit, and the Raiders. 4-1 at the bye week.
I still got them at 5-0. I'm gonna take majority rules, but at the floor it's 4-1.
Is there a world where this is not like if Green Bay gets to week 6 and they don't have a winning record, something's a problem. I'll just say that part.
Yeah, 100%.
If they get to the bye week and they don't have a winning record, like I'll accept 3-2. Like if you're 2-3, I'm calling for LaFleur's head. What the you doing, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Hey man. If we lose week 1, there's a problem. Off gate.
If you lose week 1, I'm coming on live on YouTube and I'm gonna call you just for that conversation.
That is hilarious. All right, so we'll just say winning record at the bye week right now 4-1. We'll just go 4-1. We're allowed 4-1 in there. Coming out the bye week at Denver.
Dub.
Oh no, man. Sean Payton.
Out the bye week, bro.
I mean, you gotta give a team the preparation, right?
Yeah, there's enough time for me to be like, all right, extra prep out the bye week. You should be cool. Things should be good.
In Denver, in elevation. I think they lean on the run game heavy in Denver, and I think they win.
That's where I want to lean. That's where I want to be at.
Yeah, you get into Denver, you
week, versus Minnesota.
That's an L.
That's at home.
I'll give it an L for that one.
All right, so that's an L. So right now we're at 5-2 versus the Rams. Dub. L. 6-2 at Pittsburgh.
Damn. Oh, that's
I don't like
L.
that matchup. I don't like that matchup. I go 6-3.
That's an L.
Pittsburgh. That one. Versus the Chargers at home.
At home against the Chargers.
Right now we're at 6-3. Right? Versus the Chargers at home. That's a tough one.
Chargers' biggest issue is they could never stop the run when it counts. So I think I'm gonna give them the dub.
7-3. At Detroit, Thursday night.
L.
I want to give Detroit one.
Yeah, I'll give Detroit one.
I gave Detroit the first
KC.
one. So
First KC.
Yeah.
KC's a L. In
L.
KC.
At the Giants.
We lost to them last year with Aaron Rodgers. We might as well lose to them this year.
Okay.
L.
Tampa.
Dub.
Carolina L. Minnesota. Carolina L.
Hey,
Minnesota.
yo. Since I'm the tiebreaker, man. Since I'm the tiebreaker. By this point in the season.
You're at my house. You're at my house. You're coming to me. Bryce Young is gonna eat, baby. Bryce Young, number one.
Hey, I got Green Bay winning that, bro.
Oh, boo, boo.
That's secondary against a Bryce Young. I don't know.
Hey, we're gonna kill. All right, Minnesota.
In Minnesota, L.
And Chicago.
L.
Dub. We ain't losing to Chicago.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 11-win team. 11-6. 11-6.
Okay, so then I'll ask the same question. Green Bay Packers is a 10-win team, right?
Yes.
It should be a 10-win team. It should be a 10-win team. They can't be no 7-win team, can they?
The floor is 9. Because there was a couple. I think
they could be a 7-win team if we lose week 1.
I think the floor is 9. Floor is 9, and the ceiling is that 11.
That's what my ceiling was. My ceiling was 11, and that's being 100% honest.
I think
that's my ceiling.
11 was my ceiling too. I think if we go back, some toss-ups for me could be Denver. I'm still of the belief that the Rams with Stafford and Kupp and Donald and all of them could potentially be some problems. And it's LaFleur and McVay. I think McVay has the up on dude. I think. So that's another one. We said the Chargers. That's another one. You know what I'm saying?
Chargers is another one for sure.
So yeah, I would take an 8 floor and 11 ceiling.
If they hit their floor though, right? If it's an 8 and 9 season, is that a failure?
No, I don't think it's a failure at all. I really don't.
Yeah,
because they finished last year. What did they finish last year? They finished 8 and 9 last year.
8 and 9. Yeah, same record.
So,
just shows we didn't improve on anything.
I think it also shows that Aaron Rodgers wasn't keeping you afloat anywhere, and that you have something to develop with.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I would take 8 and 9 on this team without Aaron into 2024. Like I said, I don't think this team has no blow up responsibility. Like, they don't have a blow up tendency in me. If they you would take this team that was 8 and 9, and probably 90% of the starters would all be back for 2024. Yeah. And then I would take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would take that. But I also know this team really should be a good enough team to where you should be a 10, 11 win team, and you have to go win some of those tough games too. So yeah, I'm with y'all. 8 floor, 11 ceiling. Any final thoughts on the Green Bay Packers, man?
They're gonna lose to the Bears week 1.
We're gonna win the division. Get out of here.
What?
Got you. All right, y'all. On to America's favorite team right now, the Detroit Lions, y'all.
America's favorite team.
On mamas, bro. On to America's favorite team right now. There is a true love. There's a love right now for the Detroit Lions that I think everybody's looking at the fact that they beat Green Bay the last game, and they was able to see that and help usher that in. That everybody's so in love with Detroit right now, man. So last year Detroit got us in a lot of Last year they got us in a lot of trouble with our comments because we said DeAndre Swift was not a top 5 running back in the division, and people was mad about that. Now you don't even have them to argue about anymore. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So we'll see how that goes, man. Head coach Dan Campbell, Big Dog Dan, in last year 9 and 8.
Go Dan.
On a cool little streak, man. I'm digging it. The media is making this for the first time. The Detroit Lions are favored to win the NFC North, and they're favored by a cool little bit. So but you gotta come see us. You gotta come see us and see what we think about you. You definitely yeah. So we'll see what we think, man. What do y'all think about the Detroit Lions so far in their offseason, man? Go start first. We'll go start first. What do you think about the
Man,
offseason signings and moves?
I think they had a good offseason. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like hugely moving to me, right? Like they picked up David Montgomery, great pickup. And the fact that he's your number 2 running back behind Jahmyr Gibbs,
Yep.
that's great. Jameson Williams to me is the biggest impact. The fact you're not gonna have him for 6 games to me almost holds you back. I'm not saying that he's a huge influence, but the fact that you were gonna put him next to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now you gotta slide in Josh Reynolds or Khalif Raymond. I don't know. The biggest highlight for this team is the defense. They went
All
and
right.
got
Give me one quick second. Be right back.
Yep. They went and got CJ Gardner-Johnson, who still is. I mean, he did some great things in Philly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be a hater, but how much of that was that D line, and how much of that was being on the other side of damn near one of the better corners in Slay, and then having I mean, you that whole secondary across the board,
Yeah.
right? You know, Darius Slay on one side, having
James Bradbury.
Bradbury on the other side, having like you had a hell of a secondary and a hell of a defense to be there for, and to be that free roaming guy to just go and pretty much pick where you're going to be and be in the right place at the right time. Now you got to go into this defense and be that guy.
Gotcha.
So is CJ Gardner-Johnson going to be that guy, or did you just benefit from the Philly defense? We about to find out.
He benefited from New Orleans defense.
Yeah.
He did the same thing in New Orleans. New Orleans was a great defense, and he was a great player for that. He's not the front runner.
Yeah, so now he's going into a defense where you ain't got 2 elite corners. You don't have an elite D-line. You have a really, really good D-line. I think you have a really young linebacker core who's pretty solid. But now you almost have to be that guy to go and be the playmaker and show that you're actually a playmaker.
Okay.
But I'm going to have my eye on the defense for sure.
All right. Paulie, what you think about America's favorite team, Detroit Lions?
I mean, Lions, man, they're the only team to sweep Green Bay this year in the division. But, I mean, here it is, man. You guys better not freaking suck. Just letting you know that right now. You guys better not suck. Last year, I didn't make the playoffs either, so I don't know what y'all so happy about. Yeah. Not eliminated us, but I mean, you guys lost to the Panthers to get eliminated. But I mean,
damn, nigga, don't say it like that, though. Damn, don't say it like that, though.
Lost to the Panthers, what?
Yeah, don't say it like that, though. You know what I'm saying? He was streaking.
But I think their offseason was pretty successful. I think most of their departures, they basically filled it almost instantly through like the draft or some free agency. Like Jameson Williams, he's going to be suspended for 6 games. They bring back Marvin Jones. They had no depth at tight end position. They went to go get Sam Laporta, great receiving tight end.
Yep,
and they also got David Montgomery.
This was a great tight end draft rookie class.
Yeah,
it
was.
This was a great. If you got a rookie tight end, we're going to speak about them because they good peoples. So this is a dope tight end class.
Right. And defensively, they got better in the secondary, which was pretty much their.
That's my problem. Is I don't think they got better in the secondary because a lot of the dudes they picked up was never the main guy.
Yeah, they got a bunch of twos.
Cameron Sutton, not the main guy. Emmanuel Mosley, not the main guy. CJ Gardner-Johnson, not the main guy. You know what I'm saying? This is a bunch of floor raisers. These are a bunch of floor raisers. Like, okay, you won't be horrible, but what really can we expect?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, when CJ got hurt, Blankenship stepped in, who was a rookie last year, did damn near the same thing. Yeah, same thing.
I told y'all know I love safeties. I love safeties. But I know safety on the field right now is the most replaceable part. And the Eagles defense didn't miss a beat when Blankenship stepped in. You know what I'm saying? It's just really what it is. Nobody is worried about the 49ers ain't mad about missing Mosley. The Steelers ain't mad about missing Sutton. Like, no, there is no lock there. These are dudes who I think probably in a lot of single coverages is going to get cooked. As a unit, they might be better, but like, I think we touched on like last year, like Tracy Walker was a beast. Now I do see light in it because they drafted Brian Branch, Jack Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Do I expect them to be year one rookie impactful? Again, I told you I tried to temper my expectations for rookies coming in. I would
Mm-hmm.
lean more Brian Branch being impactful than Jack Campbell. Like I really would, and I like them both. But I think Brian Branch is that dude. I think it all really comes down to Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston, who kind of played a big role in what he did towards the end of last year. Seeing what
Mm-hmm.
they put together, but like as a secondary as a whole, this is just like, yo, we don't have a true number one lockdown guy or a guy who can maybe be that for us. And so that's maybe they're hoping that an Aiden Hutchinson breakout year two and some other things happen to help that out. But I'm
Yeah,
also
but I
going to
don't
bring
think
up
they
something.
really need that though, because they got a lot of depth at that position. So I don't think
No,
it's
you're
like
right.
really
You're
like,
right. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're right. They don't. They have the depth. They really do. They said, but they're one injury away from being like, God damn, we weak as hell out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
We suck again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm gonna bring something up about Detroit that just kind of hit my mind the other day. We talk about top tier O lines, but I feel like we're talking about Detroit's top tier O line too much. I ain't trying to put no bad blood on nobody, but we did that with the Colts for a couple years. And eventually there has to be a year, where this O line goes and it sucks. You know what I'm saying? And this year, you have a big dog schedule. This year, you have a big dog schedule where you're gonna run into some people. And now you're not hiding from nobody no more. Your OC is coming back, so people now have 2 years worth of film on you. People, and you're right, Jamison Williams being suspended to start the year, this receiving core looks absolutely different to me. Without him being there the first 6 games, the first 6 games is going to be pretty tough for them. I feel like, and I do feel like overall you upgraded your running back room with Gibbs and Montgomery, so that'll help out. Y'all know I'm still not a Jared Goff dude. I'm never gonna be a Jared
Mm-hmm.
Goff dude because I think he is who he is, and I think there is truly a ceiling capped on what this team could be with him. And for the first 6 games without Williams, and just the thought in the back of my head of like, what if this offensive line doesn't sustain how good it was this year? This stuff is going downhill because then you have nothing to rely on. So that's like free agent signings. I looked at them and I was like, it was a lot of floor raisers, but none of them were
Mm-hmm.
ceiling raisers to me outside of when we get to the key players talking about them. But then even still, I still feel like at the most important part, I personally just have a ceiling on how much I'm going to believe in that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know y'all got through that. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and start it off on my 3 key players for the Detroit Lions. And I know I usually don't try to mention quarterbacks because we know how good they are. But number one is going to be Jared Goff. Like it really is now because I do feel like you have a good O-line, good running game. Everybody and their mom is talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown's a top 20, top 15 wide receiver. So am I smoking crack for not believing that? Because I
No,
don't think bro's a top 15, top 20 wide receiver.
he's not.
And people are telling me he's a top 20, top 15 wide receiver. And I don't know. So
He
again,
absolutely is not.
I'm starting to
No.
learn a trend that every offseason I don't believe the hype of a Detroit offensive player.
No.
I do believe in the hype of Jahmyr Gibbs. So I will tell y'all,
Mm-hmm.
y'all got one in Gibbs. Y'all got one in
Yeah.
Gibbs. I just don't care for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Jared Goff is going to be number one for me. And this is going to be me having, like you said, you got to stand on something with somebody. Jared Goff has to not duplicate the success he had last year because people seem to be forgetting that this team did start bad with this same dude at quarterback. You got to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be better than that. You have to have a top 7, 8 like season again and really dominate from that point. Number 2, big dog Aiden Hutchinson, man, you were taken high. We said this was a perfect place for you to go. It's time for you to take an elite step up, get into your business, start to really wreck the game. I got my eye on you, James Houston, too. And I don't want to put the pressure on Jack Campbell because you are a rookie. I think Brian Branch will end up being the best defensive player on this. But one of these damn linebackers, again, has to do something and step up to help this out. Or you're going to piss off a lot of the dudes behind you that you ain't giving no help to. So one of these 2 linebackers, that's be my top 3 players. Big emphasis on Jared Goff. Because we might get to week 8 and be like, this dude's trash. Like y'all said that week 8 last year.
He's buns for real.
Yeah. So we
I'm
got
I'm
top
I'm
three
gonna go.
players.
I'm gonna go all three levels on the defense. So first, I'm gonna start with Aiden Hutchinson. Same reason you said. You were drafted. You were drafted number one, big dog. Like you were the reason why we all had to take a shot multiple times. It's your
Yeah.
fault. So show up, right? You're going into year two. Show us something. Next one is Malcolm Rodriguez. I really like Malcolm Rodriguez. I don't know why. That dude's motor is always going. I think he's gonna be one of those guys to change the defense just because of his hustle. He's one of those hustle players, right? He's like a Ronnie Turioff for the Lakers. You ain't gonna get a
Yeah.
lot out of him, like highlight beautiful, pretty plays. He's just gonna get the right play at the right time. He's always gonna be around the ball. And then the next one I'm looking at is Emmanuel Mosley. Show us why they paid you, dog. Like, show us why you here. You obviously
Gotcha.
thrived in a 49er offense, just like like you were talking about. You thrived in a 49er offense. The D line and the linebacker core in San Francisco, amazing. What are you gonna do now that you're in Detroit? It's similar to CJ Gardner Johnson. Y'all two are eyes are on y'all. Y'all got
Yep.
taken away from your teams where you were successful. Show us why.
Uh,
Yeah. For me, it's, on the other side of Aiden, Romeo Okwara, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities because Aiden's going to get double teamed, no doubt about it. He's going to get double teamed pretty much every game, and he's going to have opportunities to show we need more help. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And second one is Jameer Gibbs. They gave up a lot. They drafted you really high.
Yeah.
Um, to be that
They was happy about it too.
prototypical, yeah, that prototypical CMC type of running back or Austin Eckler type of running back. So you know what I mean. So he's gotta show up, and then Amon Ra, man, he's gonna have to duplicate the same season he had last year for Jared Goff to take this team where it needs to be. So
Last year, Amon-Ra had 106 catches, 1,100 yards, and 6 TDs. And
106
that's
and
it.
11 is not enough. I think like the yardage wise, it's like not enough, but I don't know. That's just wild to
I
me.
think Amon-Ra St. Brown to me is he's one of those guys that's a beneficiary of a situation. You put Amon-Ra St. Brown on the team with I mean, you go put him on Tampa Bay, right? He's gonna clearly be a number 3 receiver in Tampa. You put him in Carolina, is he gonna duplicate that? No. But I think if you put him on another team, right now, Amon-Ra is just the best receiver they have, right? When they traded away their tight end last year, who else was he
Hawkinson.
throwing to? Yeah, they traded Hawkinson
Yeah.
to the Vikings. You ain't had no one else to throw to. DeAndre Swift wasn't ever healthy. Jamal Williams is not a
That is
receiving back. You're just a beneficiary of a situation, man. Like I don't think he's him.
Jameson Williams really has one catch for 41 yards and a touchdown. That's all his career stats. And he's suspended for the first 6 games of the year, 5 or 6. So that's
You
gonna
think
be
he'll get
crazy.
1,000 after that 6?
Nah, it's just not enough time. It's not enough time. And like I said, I think what's the best way to put how I feel about Amon Ra? I think he is a perfect fit for what they do in Detroit to where he'll
Mm-hmm.
always be productive. But I don't think he's this game changer that people seem to be trying to make him. That's just how I feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, y'all, let's get into this Detroit schedule, man. Let's get to work in this schedule. So we had the Bears as a 5-win, 9-win ceiling. The Packers at 8-11. Detroit, America's favorite team. You open the year up with the Chiefs, the first game of the year. Fat L. It's a good time though. It's a good time though. Look, we'll take that. We'll take that. So everybody, LK, is there? So let me ask this, since this will be the first game of the year. Spend just a couple minutes. What are your expectations in seeing in week one? Or is what you see in week one for the Chiefs going to change how you view Detroit at all? Or it's just a nah, y'all just got served up?
Say it again.
I said, when it comes to week one for Detroit, since they'll be the first game on in the year in KC, is what happens in week one for Detroit going to change any way you view them?
No.
No.
I feel sorry for any team coming into week 1 against KC.
Mm-hmm.
So then with that being said, what are you looking for week 1 from Detroit?
I'm looking for offensive movement. What is your offense doing? That's what I'm going to look at. KC's going to make everyone's defense look like trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's defense. So we can't measure the defense off of a week 1 game against KC. But on the other side, KC's defense ain't all that great.
Mm-hmm.
They also don't suck, right?
Yeah.
To me, KC defense is about middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Detroit to see what do y'all do against the middle of the pack defense, right? Top of the middle of the pack.
Yeah. But, and this is the first game of the year, bro. So you literally have all year to prepare. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you have all off season to prepare for this one game to make sure you come out on the right foot. And I actually looking at their schedule here, I think their first 3 games before they get to Green Bay is going to tell us a lot. So you got week 1 versus KC, then you got week 2 at home versus Seattle. I don't think they have the DBs like we just talked about to match up with DK, Smith and Jigba, and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna eat.
And they got Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, there was already some bad offense with just DK and Tyler Lockett. Then you gonna put Smith and Jigba in there?
Jay is saying it's great, bro. Then you go against what Soy says will be the best running defense. This is a tough test for your defense the first 3 weeks of the year to go from KC to Seattle to Atlanta. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna give him a dub against Atlanta just because I want Atlanta to look and be like, we spent hella money for what?
Yeah. All right. So right now they're 1-2. All right. Week 4 at Green Bay. So that's 1-3. So week 5 versus Carolina, that's at home. I'm giving them a home dub because I still think we'll be figuring stuff out. So I'm giving them a home dub, even though I don't believe it. I'm giving them a home dub. Because I don't know what our offense is going to look like at that time. So I don't know if we can take advantage of these fools. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving them a home dub. Buccaneers, week 6. You got Baltimore and the Raiders.
Hey, everybody beating the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4-4 at the bye week within reason.
Who's their other dub to? Or
so we give them a dub versus Atlanta, dub versus Carolina, dub versus Tampa, and a dub. Damn, they beat the NFC South like a mother sucker, didn't they? And then a dub versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's 4-4.
Yeah, that's 4-4.
So I'll put it like this. If they're gonna win the division, 4-4 at the bye is needed.
Yeah.
100%.
I also think most people got them beating Green Bay that first week. I think most teams also got them beating Seattle in week 2.
Seattle. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Good thing we're not most. 4-4 at the bye week. So coming out the bye week at 500, you got the rest of the season behind you. At Chargers, I can't give you that one.
Yeah, they losing that one.
The L.
And I don't feel like I should be that. I always give the bye week team the benefit, and I just can't do it.
Nah.
All right, so L. Then you got Chicago.
That's a dub.
And then at Green Bay. Well, versus that's home against Green Bay.
Against Green Bay.
Yeah,
that's home.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think I'll give them a split.
At New Orleans.
That'll be a dub.
Oh,
that's close though. I don't know.
New Orleans is always. I don't know. New Orleans is always good at home. I don't know why.
I'm giving them a L in New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them an L in New Orleans.
Okay.
At Chicago, that was I
think they get the dub there too.
Yeah, I think they sweep Chicago.
Oh, you got them sweeping. Versus Denver.
At home.
At this point in the season, week 17, I think Denver. I think they lose to Denver.
That's crazy. They really played Minnesota twice, 2 times to end the year like that in Dallas. They're going 1-2 either way.
Yeah. Are they beating? Do we have them winning against Denver?
I really don't.
I don't either.
That's close, but yeah, I think that has to be a dub on their end at that point of the season. just to
then
keep up with
I think
Minnesota.
yeah, I think it has to be, but
Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota. So out of those,
But yeah,
I think they win 2 of those last 3. I think they beat Dallas.
I don't got them winning against Dallas.
I don't got them winning against Dallas either.
Damn, L. Do they win against Minnesota at home?
I got them splitting.
Yeah, I got them splitting with Minnesota.
Damn, that's
So
only 8
they're
wins.
going. So they're going 1-3 the last 3 games.
So we'll ask the
Last
question
4 games.
again: is the Detroit Lions a 10-win team?
No.
I think 10 is the ceiling. I think 10 is the absolute ceiling.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
we hit
think
their
they're
floor
a
with 8
10-win
wins.
team. Yeah, I think they're very tight. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's a
This
tough
division
schedule,
is.
though.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I don't think people. It's a tough schedule, bro.
They're going to have to pull up on
And
some
that little
teams. And
turnaround with Minnesota, Dallas, and then going
Minnesota again.
back home. That's crazy.
I still got them beating Dallas, though. Dallas does this thing at the end of every season where they just slip up.
Yeah, they do. All right.
Mhm.
So like I said, but they're not a 10-win team, right? Or is 10 the ceiling?
I'm going to say 10 is a ceiling.
10 is the ceiling. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what's their floor?
8.
8? It would have to be 8, right? Man, that's a for the favorites of the NFC North.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's
Right
crazy.
now, that are bet on favorites. America's favorite team is the bet on favorites, and we have them at a ceiling of 10 wins.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe when we get through Minnesota, that's what I'm saying. Maybe when we get through Minnesota,
Yeah,
it'll help
yeah.
to ease this out. That's what I'm saying. We got to kind of see the whole picture because I'm like, yo, this whole division can't go like the NFC South last year with 3 teams at 7 wins and an 8 and 9 division winner. Like I don't think that's the case.
No, I think Minnesota is going to clear up a lot of things for us once we get there.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I was at. That's at least what I thought doing my damn notes. But they schedule didn't do me no favors either. I felt like. So, all right. Any final thoughts on Detroit before we move to Minnesota, man?
Hendon Hooker is going to be a starter by the end of the year.
Hendon Hooker, that's going to be crazy.
Hendon Hooker is going to be a starter by the end of the year.
That's
I would
crazy.
say like week 15, 14, 15. Hendon Hooker is going to be a starter.
That is going to be crazy, boy. I promise you. All right, y'all.
I think he's going to start right where the second game of the Packers. I don't think he starts that late.
Wow, man. I told you, NFC North, this is tough that this was the first one we did because I feel like it really was the toughest division to have to work through.
Yep.
Which is the ones I like, man. You got to work through them. You got to get through them. At some point, we're going to have to double back and say, I'm taking back what I said. This team's going to suck. I did that with the Patriots last year, and they made me eat my words. Forget about a minute. So, yeah, at some point, you just got to make a stamp on a team, man. And eventually, I know when we come back, some things will be cleared up and we can figure that out. Minnesota Vikings, NFC North winners, 13-4. Did y'all thing, and then soiled y'all thing against Vanilla Vic in the playoffs. Head coach Kevin O'Connell, second year. I'm going to tell y'all now, the biggest addition of the entire offseason in the North to me was the fact that Brian Flores is now the defensive coordinator. That's what moved.
We can just get out of the way of that.
Out of everything that was done in the North, I said, what is the one move that moves me the most? And it will be Brian Flores being the DC for the Vikings.
Yep.
That's the reason why I'm like, I lean them heavily in this because of that one addition right there. All right, man. Outside of that, this is being recorded before Dalvin Cook is moved. I don't think he's going to be moved, y'all. I don't think he's going to be released. He's going to figure something else out. I don't think he's going nowhere. Oh, man. But besides that, Adam Thielen, gone. Doesn't really matter. You replaced him with Jordan Addison. Took a better version. Cool. All for that. Marcus Davenport, Byron Murphy's coming over, Brian Flores. Those 3 additions to the defense alone was enough for me to believe that, all right, this defense should be where it's probably going to be next year, man. Kirk Cousins did not get an extension. They have no intentions to extend him again. So this could truly be a make or break year for Kirk in Minnesota. If I was to say a suggestion, is I think the Minnesota Vikings are playing to win because I think Brian Flores is in a 1-year deal. I think he's ready to coach, get
Mm-hmm.
in, and then get the hell on to his next job. So I think if the Minnesota Vikings don't make a conference championship game, Kirk Cousins is not coming back. So I can just already say that off rip. And I'm not gonna lie, I almost think that there's no world that they don't decide to move on from bro. Because they got to get ready to pay Jefferson, and I don't think you could pay him and a couple other people. So, what are
Mm-hmm.
y'all thoughts, man? I told y'all, man. I felt like we had been big Brian Flores fans together on here, and him going to the Vikings as DC. I told y'all was definitely more than enough for me. So,
The Vikings are it's not a two-way street for them and Flores. Flores is not benefiting from being here. This team is benefiting from him being here, right? But we know Brian
Mm-hmm.
Flores is going to be a head coach even if he took the year off, right?
yeah,
But the biggest thing that stands out to me is not just that, is their offense. Oh, actually, yeah, their defense. Their defense, right? Brian Flores coming in is gonna fill in a lot of that. But last year, I think it was like over the last 10 years for a 14-win team, they had the worst differential from any team that was a
yeah,
14-win team.
yeah,
Negative
yeah,
3 point
Mm-hmm.
differential. So to
yeah,
me, that's like, yo, y'all are buns. And is
yeah.
Brian Flores 1 year gonna change that? I don't think it's gonna be too much of a change. It's not gonna be a big change. It's gonna be a change. It's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, a minus 3 point differential.
Yeah.
But I also think a 1 year deal for Brian Flores was an L for the Vikings. You're bringing in a great defensive coordinator, head coach candidate next year, but you're not going to
Yeah.
be able to benefit off of it for one off season and one full season. It's just not going to happen.
All right.
Yeah.
You
And
call it?
I like to piggyback off of that. Just Brian Flores, he's just gonna get him over that playoff hump just a little bit. Just one game. They're gonna win one game in the playoffs with just Brian Flores in there. I don't think it's gonna be much of a difference. I think damn, they upgraded at corner. Second year for Andrew Booth. Marcus
Lewis.
Davenport's coming over.
Yeah, Lewis Singh was hurt a lot of last year. He'll be,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, he'll be
He's
in the
gonna get
tuck,
some
get a lot of
opportunities.
PT. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Asamoah, I think he's a name to really look out for. Troy Reader is another one on the defense I'll be looking at too.
Mm-hmm. And if they're not gonna get rid of Dalvin Cook, this is probably him and Kirk Cousins last year to finally give him a statement year, basically.
Yeah.
So this is theirs to lose again. I mean, they ain't really got much to. They got probably the most balanced team in the NFC North. Um, yeah, this is theirs to lose, honestly.
Which is where Kirk Cousins loses it at though. You know what I'm saying?
no
That's where he's known to soil it at. Is okay, here it's on, you know what I'm saying?
such thing as
So
prime time Kirk.
yeah, no such thing as primetime Kirk. So when I take a look at it, I am expecting offensively Kevin O'Connell out of that McVay tree. You did your thing offensively. Jettas, killer. We know what he does. TJ Hawkinson came along from the trade. I like what he could be going into next year. Jordan Addison
Mm-hmm.
feels right in for Thielen, and he's probably going to take off even more than what I expect the more that I look at this. KJ Osborne, I think he's going to do exactly kind of the same thing because I think Addison is going to kill over there with what he does, man. I
Mm-hmm.
do have my concerns about the offensive line still. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like maybe time would make them better. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe time together will make them better. But as player wise, I'm still not like I'm just kind of like okay, I can see where this could hurt y'all too. But I do like the thought of Flores coming over with Murphy, Seam, Booth. You know what I'm saying? And these guys on the defensive side to at least the tagline with Minnesota is they won a lot of one possession games, which every year some team does, and people don't think that they can repeat that. And you usually don't repeat that. But I think
Mm-hmm.
Flores and what he's supposed to do on defense is to keep you the hell away from that.
Yeah.
Is to not put you in those situations to where you're down to last minute one possession games. But there's also the truth of the fact that a lot of the league last year was in one possession games and it came down to it. So that is where coaching and timing comes into it. I like how you said it. The Vikings will get the benefit of it's not a two-way street. You're going to benefit from Flores, and then he's probably going to be on and about his way. So this is kind of the window for Minnesota in the division to, amongst all the movement going on, for you to be the first team outside the elite, you know what I'm saying, with the Eagles and 49ers to be that kind of next tier of teams to be like, yo, if there's a damn window to kick down, we got to go do it now. And I think that's where kind of Minnesota is at. But they're also at like that phase that I don't like to say it. And I mean, I say it because it is true. That's that phase where they sell that moment all the time too. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to want to be like, you say, but we'll see what Kevin O'Connell does as second year of head coach. Um, so let's three key players. Three key players for the Minnesota Vikings, y'all. Three key players.
Of course, Kirk, Dalvin Cook, and I would like to say Jordan Hicks because they got rid of Eric Kendricks, which I thought was the better
Yeah,
linebacker out of the
yeah.
two.
I was shocked
Better
they got rid of
coverage and run support. So I would say him just because they got rid of him, and this is your defense now. So
yeah.
Dalvin Cook, this is your last year to prove what you got, man. You only have one Pro Bowl season since what? What was this Pro Bowl season in 2018? The year he got
Yeah,
drafted? I
yeah.
don't know when the year that was, but and then Kirk, don't know why he's still on the team, but this is your last chance.
Kirk
So
go
Yeah.
better
Bangs.
make the best of it. This is basically a tryout for the next team you got. So
Yeah.
He about to end
Yeah.
up a backup somewhere.
He's
yeah,
about to be a Raider. Kirk Cousins is about to be a Raider.
Yo.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
go with Jordan. Jordan Addison is my first one. Filling in Adam Thielen's spot. A lot more athletic. I think he's a lot more. Obviously, he's younger. You know what I mean. Having replacing Adam Thielen is tough, but I think the last 2 years we saw Adam Thielen take a step back. Injuries is going to be a big part of that, but I think it's a big upgrade having Jordan Addison there. The other one I'm looking at is right there on the D line. What is that D line going to do? I mean, I don't know if we're going to continue to call Daniil Hunter a linebacker or a DN, but I'm looking at
it's a DM.
that D line to see what y'all are going to do.
yeah.
And I think that's going to reign true for a lot of the NFL once we go through across all these teams. And then the other part is
Yeah.
right there with Pollard, Jordan Hicks. Still surprised they just released Eric Kendrick. They didn't send him anywhere. They didn't trade him anywhere. They just say, "Yo, you go sign with whoever you want, man."
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my three players: that D line, Jordan Hicks, and Jordan Addison.
Yeah. Mine's is all on the defensive side, uh, with an asterisk on the fourth. So Byron Murphy coming over from the Cardinals. Everything to enhance that side of the ball. Let's see what you could do with Flores over there. The John O'Neill Challenge Sell of the Year. The reason why we took 3 extra shots we probably shouldn't have. Andrew Booth Jr. You sold me and Pale.
Andrew Booth,
So
man.
yeah, we took 3 or 4 extra drinks we shouldn't have took because of you. So yeah, we need you to really be a CB2 this year, man. You know what I'm saying? Step up, step up.
Because of you.
Other one, Marcus Davenport coming over from New Orleans. Again, I don't think he's I don't expect him to be the game changer, but I do take attention to detail into what defensive players come over with the coordinator because it means that you kind of believe in what they got going on. And then this the asterisk on Lewis scene, man. I know he spent a good amount of time hurt last year. See how he works himself in. Because I mean, Harrison Smith ain't got but so much longer, man. So we kind of got to get ready to figure something out there, man. And like I felt with Rudy Ford, I'm looking at Cameron Bryan. I'm like, why are you ahead of him though? Is it because of injury? What's going on? So yeah, that's that. Everything on the defensive side. Murphy, Booth, Davenport seen as my asterisk for the last dude right there with Flores. And let's see if I told y'all, Flores was the needle mover for me in this situation. So let's look at the Minnesota Vikings schedule, man. Record prediction. Check them out, man. NFC North. This battle we got going on, man. Opening up week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Duh.
It's the
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield show, baby. 5 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield.
Damn.
Hell no. 1-0. They got week 2 at Philly. Thursday night game turnaround.
They getting blown out.
We'll give them 1-1. You come back week 3 at home versus the Chargers.
That's a dub.
I'll give them a dub.
2-1.
Charger can't cover.
And then we'll go 2-2. Then they're gonna go 2-3.
2-2. Dang. I'm sorry, y'all taking the L.
man.
Week 4 at Carolina, the Adam Thielen revenge game. Mark them up for two TDs. The Adam Thielen revenge game,
two
baby.
TDs after they down 5.
Oh man! All right, so I don't know. I'm giving them that game. I'll give the Vikings that game. We struggled with them last time.
3-1.
Week 5, versus KC.
That's an L.
Oh no! I think they win that.
That's at home.
I think they win that. Brian Flores against Andy Reid, basically.
I'm looking at Jets tearing that entire secondary up.
They don't have Bieniemy this year.
I'm just looking at them tearing that secondary up, bro.
Eric Bieniemy is not there this year. Like I don't know if people realize how big of an impact that is.
And KC has to lose at some point. And like we're gonna keep marking KC for dubs
at home,
and almost damn near have them 16. So I gotta give KC an L somewhere. So I'll give it Minnesota. At Chicago. Wait, so Polly, you had Vikings sweeping Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Do you have them sweeping us? So do you? And we might as well count them up 2 dubs then, because then that's it. That's a dub. At home versus the 49ers.
Prime time?
My biggest struggle with this is who's your quarterback, but it's also prime time, so it's an L.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to give it to Minnesota. But we'll get y'all said the L at Green Bay.
They're going to split with Green Bay.
We had to split with Green Bay.
They're going to lose in Green Bay.
So they split Green Bay, they split Detroit, they sweep Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we'll leave those alone. Atlanta.
Dub. Brian Flores is not going to get ran on.
At home versus New Orleans.
That's a dub.
And that was a close game last year in London that they had. So
they also didn't have Brian Flores.
Looking at Flores too, man. I think he changes a lot.
These small games like the Falcons, that's going to be a big difference just because of game plan.
Who's New Orleans? It was Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton had them in a close game though.
He did. I'm giving it to him because they'll be at home. I'm giving Minnesota the game. They'll be at home. If it was in New Orleans, I would go New Orleans. But then they go at Denver. That's a close one. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
great game.
I think they win that though.
I would give Minnesota that game too.
Yeah, I give them the win.
So we had them sweeping Chicago overall.
Las Vegas.
So let me count that for the bye week. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9,
6. So that was 9 at the bye week.
9 and 3.
Dang, at the bye week. Okay, Minnesota. And to finish the year at the Raiders.
Dub.
That's 10.
Tennessee. That's gonna be a matchup, boy. Chase and Jefferson.
I think they lose there. I think they lose.
Yeah,
that wide receiver corps is gonna tear up that secondary.
So this is like an 11-win team. So the Vikings are a 10-win team.
They're sweeping Detroit, right?
Split.
Oh,
split.
Okay.
We had a split with them.
And then Green Bay, they lost. That was a split. Detroit Lions. L. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins. 12 and 5.
Yeah.
So 12 ceiling. What's the floor for this team?
10.
Honestly,
ceiling is probably 13.
Yeah,
ceiling is probably 13, and the floor is going to be 10.
Floor has to be 10, though. It has to be.
You're right. I'll take a floor 10, ceiling 13.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say they have an easy schedule, but they have an easier schedule compared to the other teams in their division, right? Like,
which is crazy. It's weird. Yeah. So I'm with you. All right, Vikings. So yeah, any final thoughts on the Vikings, man?
Don't soil it.
Dark horse in the NFC North, man. What is your dark horse team in the NFC North.
Packers.
Yeah,
Packers.
for me it's the Packers. Yeah, for me
Green
it's the
Bay
Packers,
Packers.
man.
Go. Go.
Don't be surprised
Yeah,
if the
I
Pack
really-
turn around and win 10, 11 games. Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like there's a reality like Jordan Love could come in and hit the ground running, and if he does what you say he does statistically, then like Green Bay's a 10-win team. You know what I'm saying? Like Green Bay should be a 10-win team.
Mm-hmm.
Dark horse player in the NFC North.
ooh,
Dark horse player in NFC North.
You know what?
Ooh,
I'll
that's
give it
gonna
to you
be
like
good.
this. I'll give it to you like this. At the end of the year, minus Justin Jefferson, rank the wide receivers: Jordan Addison, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Christian Watson, DJ Moore. At the end of the 2023 NFL season, when we come back and we say rank the NFC North wide receivers, minus Justin Jefferson, how will we rank them? Jordan Addison, Christian Watson, DJ Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Christian Watson, Jordan Addison, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
DJ last?
Yeah.
I think Addison will be last for me just because I don't know what he's gonna do yet. But
Thielen last year still had
Thielen went
70
off.
catches and 7 touchdowns. DJ Moore had 68 and 7. He was what?
That's the number
Thielen
one
still-
guy.
Yeah, Thielen still had 70 and 7 touchdowns as a number 2.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Watson
So-
to me is the next guy. Like, that's your next guy. And then right after
So-
that, that's when you got to put Addison in there. You put Amon-Ra St. Brown right after that, and then you put DJ Moore last because, bro, you're in year. I'm still salty that he's in year 6. Like, that pisses me
year
off.
6. Tough.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
sick.
year
That's
6.
no.
I think for me it'll be Watson, DJ Addison, St. Brown.
St. Brown is last for you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
me
again,
it'll
it's gonna be
be
one of those things. It's gonna be one of those things. I know we're gonna come back, and Amon-Ra is probably gonna have a high 80 catch, 900,000 yard season. But I think when we look back, we're gonna be like, yeah, but Jordan Addison clears.
Jordan
Yeah.
Addison will probably had a similar numbers to him as a number 2 receiver.
Yeah, and he'll probably have similar.
Mhm.
So
I think
I
it'll
still
be
think-
like Watson, Brown, Addison, DJ Moore. No, actually DJ Moore then Addison.
got you.
Because I feel like
Kurt.
because St. Brown got 6 games to work with without Jameson Williams, so he's gonna have to get
That's
a lot
true.
of production out of there.
That's true.
It's the problem. I'm not gonna say it's the problem, but I also don't know if he can.
Kirk
Yeah, it's
Cousins
a different
was,
game plan.
He was
It's a
number
different
4 in
game.
passing last year, 4,520, 29 touchdowns.
It's a different game plan when they miss him, man. So
Mm-hmm.
all right, rank the NFC North quarterbacks. I had
won.
Kirk. I had Kirk, Goff, Fields, Love. Because again, we still haven't had a full sample size of Love.
Oh no, I'm gonna go Kirk, Goff,
That's
Love,
now. That's
Fields.
like that's at this moment. Yeah, that's at this moment. That's what it would be. Because I
I'm-
try to keep that even.
I'm still gonna put Love third, just because again, you sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. We ain't seen nothing from you, so you better step in ready.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
At
I'll
the
be
end of the
with
year,
Troy on that one.
at the end of the year, it should be there should be no reason why Kirk and Goff aren't 3 and 4, and Fields and Love shouldn't jump them too. Like that's how I feel about them as
Yeah.
individual talents. Love and Fields should be 1 and 2, and then Kirk and Goff should be 3 and 4. And however, I'm
Absolutely.
just trying to give them the respect off of what they.
Yeah, I agree.
Rank the NFC North's defenses.
Ooh.
Defenses
Yep.
will be
I'll go ahead and say this. I know for a fact
Maybe.
Chicago is last.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
Chicago
I'll go
is last.
Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit.
Green Bay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think I'd have to go Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit.
We had the
And
better
it's-
overall defense last year over Minnesota.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit.
I think J. Alexander would be mad if we didn't put him up there after he locked up Jettas, man.
Jettas. My man
Yes.
was hitting the gritty all
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, so bro was tight. Bro was tight. All right. Give me your hottest take NFC North. At the end of this year, blank for the Minnesota Vikings. What is your hot take for the Minnesota Vikings?
I take they only win 8 games.
Ooh.
Damn.
Which is oddly a familiar place that they could be at, though.
For the Minnesota Vikings, head coach is fired. Brian Flores steps in as coach.
Damn.
Damn. Kevin O'Connell like that?
Kevin O'Connell fired.
Damn. O'Connell hitting the bricks already.
Yep. Kevin
Oh,
O'Connell
that's no
fired.
love.
Brian
Damn.
Flores steps in. It's not, man. There's
If we go
something
8-9,
about
hell yeah, I'll move on.
something about Brian Flores bringing him in for 1 year is almost like, hey dog, if we suck, this is your job.
It is your team.
This is yours. If we good,
Speaking of,
we made you look
I
good
can
for the
already
next
tell
team.
you that that's already happening in Washington right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Riverboat Ron got 4 games before Bieniemy becomes the dude.
Bieniemy's in there. They hired
So-
Bieniemy and they were like, hey, big dog.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. Hot take for the Minnesota Vikings. You'll probably lose in the first round of the playoffs again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know if y'all seen that clip of that announcer, the Minnesota announcer who be losing it, bro. He be losing it every single time. Yeah. So yeah, I will go for that, man. Hot take for the Detroit Lions.
Hot take for the Detroit Lions.
I'm gonna tell you this now. I think my hot take for the Detroit Lions, and I'm willing to stand on it, is you will realize you're good, but you'll never be great with Jared Goff as quarterback. It will be clear at the end of this year that you need to upgrade from Jared Goff. Learn the Rams lesson.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a top 10 running back. Jahmyr Gibbs will be a top 10 running back.
I'll say they go 6-11.
Damn.
We're gonna do record hot takes. We're gonna do record hot takes.
Ooh, put that on wax.
Damn.
Put that on wax. Hot take for the Green Bay Packers.
They finished last.
Finish last. Damn, that'll put
Green Bay
LaFleur on
Packers
a hot
finished
like a
last.
mother's. You know what I like
Division
that
winners.
one. That will put LaFleur on the hot seat like a mug. I'm gonna lean with that one too. Hot take. Packers finish last. That'll be crazy though, but that'll be whoa boy. That'll make an offseason, man. That will make one. Hot take for the Chicago Bears.
Hey, they finished first.
Damn,
better than Detroit.
No, all right. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far. The hot take for the Chicago Bears is they finish with double-digit wins and they end up in a wild card playoff spot.
Yeah, I think the hot take for me, Justin Fields ends up with 3,500 and 1,100 rushing yards.
Ooh, damn.
Again.
Some Jalen Hurts numbers.
Some numbers. That's some numbers. The Bears will have a top 3 pick, and it's going to be their own.
Damn.
Yep. They keep talking about they want it from us. F y'all. The Bears will regret passing on Bryce Young.
Carolina gonna finish in the playoffs this year. They're gonna be like, damn, this is what we traded for. 27th pick.
Bears fans will look back and be like, we should have just took Bryce.
Damn.
They're like, Darnell Wright. Damn. That's what we got.
Yeah.
We got CJ in the pick for this.
They would have looked at Bryce and said, nah. So they will look back, not just Bryce, CJ. They would have looked at 2 quarterbacks who end up. Yeah, they will look at 2 quarterbacks who they should have taken and they didn't.
Just imagine Darnell Wright. He's gonna have a Joe Thomas career, all pro, never miss, never wins.
Oh, bro. Hey, that'll be wild, bro. That'll be wild, man. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the NFC North, man? Any last things, people, players, things that you think can take within the context of this division before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Green Bay,
Yeah.
we number one.
Green Bay's number one. All right, we're gonna be
Number
doing
one.
sorry, Joe, if you stayed this long, man. Drop a comment, tell us how you feel. We will be dropping these videos here soon. We are recording a little ahead to get things edited and taken care of. During the NFL season, we will be live every Tuesday after to recap and review all the games. We'll also have a live Thursday night stream of just watching the Thursday night game. Chill kickback vibes, just doing that. Got a couple things going on. So if you've been with us this long, thank you for rocking with us. Watching. We also have a series we'll be doing called The Podium. So if you got somebody you want us to bring to the podium to talk about them, drop them below. We're going to be ranking Eli Manning here soon. And if you didn't, check out the Victor Wembanyama takes, y'all. So y'all good to go? Let's get up out of here, man. TTSPN, y'all. We out.